little messy behind me, but it's okay.
Yeah, thanks, Fabio, for that intro. So,
Oh,
hey,
you want
everybody,
an
we're
intro?
here. We're live. Fabio's place is messy. He's
I'm
doing.
I'm I'm not singing anymore.
He's opening a shoe store, so he's got to organize a little bit. It looks like.
Yes, come to my pop-up store,
So
sponsored by my wife, who
we
wants
are.
me to get rid of all the shoes.
Yeah. So we are happy to be here today with Ryan and Nuno. Nuno, is it Nuno or Nuno?
No, no.
Nuno, yeah, because there's no accent. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're really happy to be here today with the two of you. Unfortunately, Nicola could not join us today, the third place winner. But we needed to do this today, so we didn't have any way to schedule it another time. So unfortunately, we had to do it. But congrats to him as well for being in the top 3. Thank you so much for joining us. We would always like to chat with the people who have been selected as winners afterwards. So thank you for being here.
Thank you also.
Woo, 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 woo. Okay,
Invitation.
I'll do the cheering
Yeah.
and screaming and special effects. But Nuno, this is not your first time that you are actually talking to us about your project,
Yeah.
right? Because you already won. Actually, you qualified quite a few times, top 3. And
Top 5, yeah.
let me get this straight. Let me remember. You did the one with the car. You won, right?
Yeah. Almost 1
yeah.
year ago.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
God, time passes. Huh?
This is like the first one.
And then you qualified.
And yes, the other, some of them on the top 5 here.
We
That's-
just
Was
the
didn't
launch
wanna. We just didn't want to bring you back because we were like, yeah, we already talked to this guy. We don't need him anymore.
It's really boring.
No, it's always a pleasure. And Ryan, what about you? I mean, you've always entered with like amazing projects, but for a reason or another, you never really managed to qualify top 3, right?
Yeah, but because I wasn't good enough. Really.
No, it's because
That's not it.
Jason was Jason was unfair and was like, I remember the first competition with the one with the car. You did the animation and Jason was like, well, we did ask for an image, so the animation is.
I was being a stickler,
Ryan, I think you're on mute,
No,
or
no.
I cannot hear you.
You hear me?
So yeah, it's low though.
Oh, okay. I'll try to speak louder with my crappy mic.
Yeah, it was louder before, but now it got a little quieter.
Oh, that's weird.
Because with my voice, I destroyed the preamps. And where are you guys at the moment? Nuno, you're in Portugal.
Yeah.
Ryan, what about you?
I am based in. Is my mic better now?
Yeah, perfect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm based in London.
London, okay.
Yeah.
Where do you work?
Oh, I work at Foster and Partner.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah.
Great company.
And are you working as an architect? Are you working in the visualization?
No, I work in the visualization team.
Okay.
So I do the films, images, music, and everything. Yeah.
Very
Alright.
nice.
Were
All
you-
right, guys, should
Yeah.
we start talking a little bit about your projects and do a breakdown of basically everything that was going on through your head and what you were thinking about and how did you come up with like the idea for the stuff that you did?
Sure. For me.
Good. Should we start with Nuno?
Yeah, I'm gonna pop up a. I'm sharing the screen right now with you guys, so you can see what we're looking at.
These were the top three images. It's a shame that Niccolo could not be here with us because I really wanted to ask him some questions. Also because, it's interesting for me when we have pictures that, are very similar in terms of like content. And so, do a comparison between Ryan and him to see, how they approached basically almost a similar idea. Mm-hmm. But anyway, Nuno, let's start with you. Jason, if it's okay, I'm going to ask the first question.
Go for it. Go for it, please. I'm kind of over here doing the back end stuff, so please.
So when you saw the project and you saw the presentation, what was going? Sorry, the competition, and you saw the presentation. What was going on through your head? What were your first thoughts? What did you think? Okay, I'm going to do this, or maybe this is a good chance for me to try this idea.
Honestly, when I saw the presentation, it was not live, but because my son, but it was on the next day. And firstly, I thought that it's going to be a more Mattepaint competition when I saw the title. And then after looking the presentation, it was a very interesting theme. And I decided almost in the moment to sign in the Mattepaint website to try to see the assets and the reference images, and I start to imagine what I could bring to my presentation, to my work. And as always, I start sketching and making some drawings and trying to imagine what I could bring. And this time it was a bit different, because most of the times I try to almost in the competitions that I've entered, almost of the time it comes to my mind what I really want to follow as a path. And on this one, I didn't have so sure. So I decided to share some of my sketches with some friends and trying to understand, make them to understand what was my goal. And one of the friends told me to watch a documentary from Al Jazeera TV. And it was a documentary called Rebel Architecture. And one of the episodes was from the favela Rocinha. And I decided to watch because it was some advice from that friend. And it was 25 minutes of pure poetry. I think it's like that. It's a story of a man called the Pedreiro da Favela. And his dream, it was a long story, but the short story was his dream was to build a 5-story house for him and his family. And on the last floor, he was to plan to build a dark sailing roof to put his telescope to watch the space. And for me, it was so lovely story, because you can dream wherever you want, and it was almost a click to me to create this image. And this was more or less the result of his words about the documentary. And I really loved the story, and for that reason I decided to put in the image the words of him, and it was almost that.
To me, it always surprises me how much people get involved with the challenge. Like, I hear stories of people that tell me the process that they go through. For instance, Jake is now watching the video, and I've had conversations with him about the way he approaches the project. And I'm like, you guys put more work in this than probably the work that you do for your own projects at work. It's so exciting to me because it's like then the end product is such an exciting product, you know. So thank you for that, Nuno. It's very interesting, and probably I'm going to look it up, look for this documentary and watch it myself as well. So maybe I can get.
I can share that.
Yeah.
I just want to point this, and I already told you, Fabio and Jason, and probably because of that, we, at least for me, I put a lot of passion on these images, because it's my way to breathe from a commercial point. We work a lot with commercial projects and so deal with so many clients, and most of the times we have very strict rules, and this is the way how we can breathe a bit. and yeah, that's why I try always to enter in these challenges, because it's my way to breathe a little with freedom to do whatever I want to do. So thank you.
Ryan, let me, no, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. Ryan, let me ask you then the same question. When you
I got a question for Nuno, actually, if that's okay.
Go for it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was just wondering, like, Nuno, can you talk a bit about the composition you chose? Because it's sort of split down the middle, but the building is to the side a little bit, and the guy is to the side as well. Was there like other camera angles that you were playing with? And why did you choose this one?
I've start with other view, and this was a crop from a wide format. And after I've made that crop, I decided to follow this view, and it was more or less a lucky a lucky shot. Only this roof on the foreground was, and after I've made this crop, I decided to put some assets on the foreground to complete the composition. Mm-hmm. But that was on purpose. Yeah. After I cropped this, I decided to complete it. Thank you.
It's also brilliant for the next stage of the competition, because I don't think you can use mine or the other image for the next stage, really. This one's just going to be so fun to use.
Right.
Okay.
Ryan, you want to share what was going on through your head when you first saw the challenge?
Yeah, well, see, that's the worrying thing about me coming on here, and only two of us, because I tried to think of something profound to say, because I know Nuno has all these incredible stories to tell, even on the Facebook post, and I don't, because the reality is, it's a kid playing football in Rio at night, and that's about it. To be perfectly honest, I would say, when I said what Fabio said, you were the closest, I suppose, because I was gonna make a film of this with I don't know how you say it, the electrical surge and the power surge, whatever, and then the street lights just start blinking and sparkling, and that lights up certain scenes. There'll be like gangs, and then one of the scenes is football. So what you said with the kids the only difference was it wasn't a kid's imagination. It was happening for real. So yeah, what Fabio said, I should hire you to really tell my stories, to be honest.
I'm a professional copywriter or bullshitter, as you. No, but it's a good thing that you did not do an animation, because Jason would have disqualified you.
I like that.
Jason, is the audio fixed on your end?
Yeah, it is.
No, I cannot hear you.
No.
Can
you guys hear him? Okay. So it's not only me. It's not a D2 show if we don't have audio issues, guys.
That's the beauty of it. I like the casual judging as well. It's nice.
Oh, we're very prepared, with the veto and all the the fundamental rules and regulations.
Is it actually 1 year since the Lancia Stratos competition? Oh man,
I don't really remember. Is it already 1 year?
Yeah.
Wow.
My God, time really passes.
Maybe March.
I have to look it up, but wow.
You need to make a book.
It's a little bit, the issue there. It's with like copyrights, because we cannot simply take the image of people and then.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
I think they cannot hear you, Jason.
No, can you hear me?
I don't think. Joao said very bad, Jason.
No, I know.
Very bad.
I switched microphones. Can you hear me?
I don't read. I don't read like lips.
No, but can you hear me, Fabio?
Cannot hear you. Can you guys hear him?
I can, yeah.
You can.
Oh no, I can't.
Ryan and Nuno, can you guys
probably
hear me?
from the video.
No, can you hear me on the Zoom call?
It's really quiet, it says.
I'm wondering if you can hear me on the call.
No, I cannot hear him. Is it me now the problem?
No, well, they say they can hear me better. I switched microphones, so I don't know. So this
I
microphone
can hear you,
keeps having problems. It's fine.
No, I cannot hear you. Can you hear him, guys?
I cannot hear Jason. I hear Fabio.
Oh, I can hear it on YouTube, but not in the Zoom call.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
On YouTube, I don't have. So.
People don't understand that we have a 20 seconds. Oh, now
you guys
I
can hear me now. Okay.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
So terrible. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, something was wrong with my other microphone. I don't know. So I switched the microphone. I had to switch it in 2 places. It's always the same thing. You forget it one place and then, yeah. Okay. Everything's good. Let's continue. Oh, sorry. That's all the time we have. Okay.
Short and sweet. That's brilliant.
It's a show about technical problems.
How not to solve technical problems live.
Yeah, but Ryan, let me put your image up.
Yeah.
So yeah, there we go.
But I really like on this image of Ryan, firstly because it was the first post and it was really inspired for us, at least for me. And I really like it, the title, Joga Bonito. That is more or less also for the first post, it was also play fair, if we can say that. And so it was really inspired for me.
Ryan, listen, you're always very fast at making these images. Can you share a little bit of your workflow? Like, tell us how you're able to be so efficient and so productive.
I mean, I have people ask me why I don't think I'm quick. I've done so many personal projects over the years that a lot of assets are ready. Like for this particular image, I was already making the stairs for another project. So I just put that in and that's done. the textures in the wall in 3ds Max, like multi-sub object, and I have a lot of ruined bricks and concrete and everything. So that's just a click. And then the street lights obviously was done by Ander. And the kit, I did a One Piece tribute to the manga, and that was actually Kit Luffy, all rigged and ready. All I had to do was put like a Ronaldinho afro on him and change the color of the clothes. So yeah, this image took probably 3 hours, excluding render time to do, but it was from assets that has been done throughout 5 years. Really, it's all in my asset library. So it's not really me being quick, but me having a lot of things ready to just do images or films like this.
And what's your pipeline? You work mainly on 3ds Max or?
Yeah, 3ds Max, V-Ray, Nuke, and in this case, Photoshop, and Forest Pack for the distribution of the favelas behind. Yeah, that's about it.
Nuno, what about you?
Well, I still use the Cinema 4D and V-Ray, and I really like it, the way I work. And
did you switch already to V-Ray Next?
V-Ray 5, yes. These personal projects I tried also to do to improve my skills, and for that reason I always do these projects to test some new capabilities, and in this case the V-Ray 5, and I really love the way how he's doing the things.
Where did you find some difficulties with this project? Were they things that you wish that were a little bit better, maybe in Cinema 4D? I don't know, maybe with the scattering or? Actually,
even the towers was made with the Cinema 4D scattering tool. But what I really struggled was with the assets that I've tried to put some more details on some things, but I didn't have so much time, and I'm glad they are on the background almost. But for me, it was the most difficult part was using the assets without any textures or so on, and all the rest was more or less using the tools that I'm comfortable to use, and that are some plugins on Cinema 4D.
So you just use the MoGraph cloner, yeah.
In this time was the MoGraph from the Cinema 4D.
Yeah, I use Octane these days, and I still use the Cinema cloner because it's more. I think it's better. Yeah, but yeah, I mean it's amazing, Nuno, really.
Thank you.
How long do you think it took you? I'm always curious about that.
This was split after I put Xavier to sleep.
Okay.
So it was some maybe three nights more or less.
Okay.
So I don't know, maybe 12 hours maybe of work.
And Ryan, I saw that. Oh, sorry, Nuno. If you're not finished, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to stop you.
Just no, because also Ryan has told that he has already so many things ready to use, and because I use this new render engine, V-Ray 5, I'm always learning some new things. So I'm testing. Also, there are several things that still missing on the new render engine that I used to work with the old render engine, and for that reason, I struggle a bit with some things yet.
Yeah.
But yeah. These personal projects are also to learn.
Yeah, that's definitely good. It's good to take advantage of that. But Ryan, I saw that Jake was asking you how you organized your library. What is this tool you just replied to him? Shotgun Pipeline.
Has nobody heard of Shotgun?
I haven't.
I haven't either.
It's just an asset management tool. To be honest, there's tons of it. I don't think it matters which one you use. I know Jake uses at WeWork. They use Google Drive and it works perfectly fine. So
okay, yeah.
But yeah, Shotgun is more for the VFX pipeline, and we use it in the company at Fawcett and Partners. So I use it outside of work as well, just because I'm used to it. I don't think it's any better or worse than. It's the same with render engines as well, isn't it? Whether you're using Octane or V-Ray, it's come to the point where it's the same thing. I think. Yeah.
But this kind of pipeline tool, this is like allowing you to tag objects and things like that with search and everything, right? Like you can't.
Yeah.
You have to organize that a little different with Google Drive.
Sometimes, I guess so,
but I mean with names or something, file names. But it's interesting. It's definitely there's definitely something to say about that kind of asset management, because I think that's a stumbling block when you're trying to be fast. If you don't have something set up where you can grab things quickly, your speed is going to go down fast, right? If you're searching for shit all the time.
It's an interesting point you mentioned there about speeds of assets, because, and maybe this is a question for Nuno as well, but if you look at TurboSquid, 3D Sky, like there's just so many more assets ready to go in V-Ray or Corona or whatever, compared to 5 years ago. Like 5 years ago, if you want to find a job and you did a rendering of like a realistic cup or something, and you'll get the job. But now you can't, because assets are all ready to use and easily downloadable for free. And I wonder how that's changed for you as well, for your company, Nuno.
Not so easy for Cinema 4D.
It's not the same.
But
but there's more than there used to be.
Yeah, for sure. And I think this will become more natural also.
I don't know, Ryan, if I've ever told you that, or if you ever heard it in one of my videos. We used to get applications from people when one of my last jobs, where people were claiming to be Evermotion artists. And then when we asked them with who they worked at Evermotion, they were saying, no, we use Evermotion assets to make renderings. I'm like, you're not an Evermotion artist.
It's like on Facebook.
It's a weird term to use.
It's like on Facebook when you see like some random person and it says like, you can tell who knows where they're from, whatever, but it says works at Facebook. And you're like, that doesn't look like somebody who works at Facebook, or like, I don't know, random stuff like that. It's like an Evermotion artist, but they act like they work there. But these days you can say anything you want. It doesn't matter. Anything
goes.
Guys,
let me ask you more of a general question, which might be useful to those who are watching this video from home. When you participate to a competition like this, do you prepare yourself with mentally, so to say, looking for references? Do you like to build sort of like a lookbook? Do you do any sort of like research that then you use to create your own image, or do you just jump straight into 3D and you start kit bashing? How do you approach the project when it comes to create an idea from scratch?
You want to go first, Nuno?
Good. As I told also, I cannot start any kind of project without firstly trying to understand what I'm going to do. And for me, and I can share, this is my first render engine. I cannot start
Henry.
Henry. And then reference images. For me, it's a must to try to at least try to point my goal. I hate to start almost immediately on 3D because I think we lose a lot of time and then we need to step back. And for that reason, I like to think first what I'm going to do, and the sketch for me are a must because it's my easy way to write my ideas, and then the reference images for me. Yeah, a lot. We try to
Ryan.
Oh, sorry. Thought my mic was off. It depends. Like sometimes I go straight into 3D if I have an idea in my head. I think that for this particular one, I had a really ugly sketch that I posted on Mattepaint.com, and that was the idea that I started with. Really, usually if I have an idea in my head, I usually go straight into 3D because this is a personal project, right? Because you're working for yourself. You don't have an architect to show your idea. So I don't need my sketches to make sense. It only has to make sense to me. So like you could see my sketch, it was absolutely horrible. I don't think anyone could tell what was going on, but I knew what was going on and that was enough. So for competitions like this, I definitely skip through loads of the process that I do professionally at work because we can.
Yeah. Makes sense.
When I do the sketches are also to try to write the way I'm going to build my 3D image. It's more or less a mental process to prepare myself when I go to the computer to be more quicker. Yeah, I'm not so fast as Ryan. But
Let me instead ask you a question that it's more, I don't know, more of an abstract question, I guess. Do you feel like throughout the creative process, do you feel like getting stuck because sometimes you feel like, what you're doing, it's too much the copy of somebody else's work, or maybe that you don't feel like there is the character that you would like for that project to have, and so you feel discouraged? And I'm asking because, like at the moment there is a lot of discussions about this idea of making artwork to sell it as an NFT. And I'm seeing a lot of artists struggling with finding their own identity as an artist in trying to create things that are very original. And, when it comes to your work, Nuno, because I've been following you for a longer time than I've followed Ryan, I can almost always recognize, the character of your work. And I'm guessing, and I'm trying to understand whether or not you go through that process of like, having doubts, maybe also like a little bit of imposter syndrome, so to say.
I always have doubts about my work.
Am I making it worse? Well, now I have doubts.
I was fine before.
I don't know. I really like to think that I'm doing what I really like, and I try not to think about what the other people think, except the clients, of course. I need to understand what they think. But about personal projects, I really like to follow as a passion and try to be happy with what I'm doing. And sometimes the result is not what I expect from the beginning and from my idea, from my mind. But it was a step, and we learn with that, and we try to follow the best path. That means even these personal projects, especially these personal projects, are a must for learn from mistakes and try to understand that probably we don't get the right skills to follow that path, and we need to learn more. And probably I was already out of your question.
No, it's I don't know. To me, it's always I try to make art myself all the time, for my own sake, because I like the creative process. And I do sometimes feel like, am I going in a direction that has nothing to do with what I like to do? Also, then I ask myself, do I actually have a style that it's recognizable? How do you get there? And so I'm curious to hear the opinion of other artists as well, to see whether or not there is a way for us artists to develop a style and to sort of like find ourselves into the work that we can produce. And maybe I do understand that maybe the question is a little bit fuzzy and not very precise, but I was asking this also to other artists when we did the Mattepainting show the last time. And this seems to be often the case, that people do work and they try to improve themselves, but it's very difficult to really develop your own style and to say, okay, I'm doing something that people can recognize that there is my hand. And the reason why I was asking you specifically this question is that when I see your work, there is always something that I can recognize, that I can say, yes, of course, this is Nuno's work. You know what I mean? Ryan, maybe I'll turn the question to you. Do you understand what I was trying to get to?
Yeah, it's a tough one. Imposter syndrome, right? Like the term you used. I'd like to say I do things for fun and I just do it for myself and I don't care what other people think. But it's hard, especially because at the end of the day, it's a competition, isn't it? So you try to be original, and sometimes by pushing original too far, you sort of, is this too off topic? Is Jason going to say is it too off topic or something like that? So,
I love how I'm the villain here. Like, oh, on.
But I do agree with what you say. People should be on topic, right? Because it's a competition, really, and you're given topic. So I don't disagree with any of the judging, to be honest, that you do. Just to put it out there.
Oh, okay, good. No. I in the end, it's just a matter of. People can do whatever they want. I'm not going to stop somebody. They can do what they want, but that doesn't mean that I have to like it.
Yeah.
That's in the end. No, I'm sorry, Ryan. Go ahead. I think it's important what you're talking about right now.
Well, yeah, that's about it. I try to have fun, but I'm not going to say that I'm perfect and always not go down the rabbit hole of doing something too off topic. But I think for these challenges, and I think for everyone, I'm always surprised when I see a blue sky, green tree image, because we do enough of that at work. Like, why this is supposed to be a fun challenge, and then I see like a bright blue sky that architects always ask for. It's like, oh, why? So I personally would never do a blue sky, green tree image for any of these challenges, unless the challenge is blue sky, green tree.
Thank you for the new brief.
I'm still waiting for the Narvalo 3D challenge, matte painting fruits or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many good ideas that have been thrown around right now.
Yeah.
You make everyone upset if you do that topic, no? Or a daytime image, but like night lights from buildings. Yeah. That's another topic. So, great, let's do that.
Day outside, night inside.
Two sans renderings. Picking your question, Fabio, at least for my opinion, I think it's getting harder to be original, and I think it's this kind of image culture that Instagram and social media put on us. and we receive a lot of information during the day, and I think we all are becoming copiers, but I don't think we are going always to put our feeling, and for that reason I think we copy since the beginning. Even the famous painters, they put a lot of inspiration and copies. So
yeah, no, I think you're on the you got the right idea there, because I mean, I think even if you don't purposely copy something, if as many images and things that we're bombarded with today, it's impossible to not have this in your subconscious when you're sketching something or thinking about something. And then if you want to go back and talk about like old painters and things like that, or old masters, then you've got a whole thing about composition, which was just kind of rules of thumb, which are pleasing to the eye, and we use those, of course, still. And that's not necessarily copying, but it could end up looking like something else because it's got.
Guys, I'm back in a second. I'm back in a second.
So I think in a way, I mean, it's an interesting discussion, but I just don't. I mean, to me, a copy would be as if you take something and then you just remake it and you do it the same way. All the other things are just a reorganization of rules and things that work, you know? So it's hard to say. I mean, like, we can't say that you copied because there's towers in here and an image that had towers, you know? I mean, for instance, so I don't know. I think that there's a line where it's between copying and inspiration, of course, you know.
I don't think you can escape it. Like if you go to CG Architect and there's this AI search, right? Search for similar images, like every single color of sky has been done already. So you can't escape things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting topic, and I think the other side of the coin as well is that you might make something that you never saw another image, and then you make something that's like someone else did, and it's just these days it's so possible because there's so many images being out there all the time that you could. Like Ryan just said, if you go and search for similar images, even on Google or something. I mean, you could find two images. They look so similar that maybe people didn't even know, right, that they were doing the same thing. It just happens, and I think it was interesting when we did the Hugh Ferris challenge because when you reduce everything to black and white, it's becoming a lot of times about the values that you use and the composition. And you could see really it was a lot of similarities, right? But that doesn't mean that all those images were copies of one another. So I think I don't know. I just think it's such a hard thing to determine in the end. We're all inspired by the things that we see. So
if I could get 1 cent every time the people copied me.
Maybe one NFT would be better. Yeah, I also think that was we were talking about assets before, and I think I saw somebody complaining about people being so popular, and that all he does is take assets and throw them together and post it. And I was like, yeah, okay. I mean, come on. It's like
sometimes probably I really don't understand artists, you know.
There's probably a little more to it than that, but okay. I mean, but in the end, yeah. I mean, he's been doing it for so long. Yeah. That's part of the charm of it, right?
Just to have the mental stability to say, okay, even today, I'm gonna sit in front of the computer and make an image, whatever it is. Like, do that for 15 years. It's like, wow.
It's amazing.
I mean, there's a talk. He did a talk at the D2 back in 2017, and the video's on our channel. If anybody wants to check it out.
It was my first D2.
Yeah, it was a good talk too. And he's so funny about
it was amazing.
He did an image when his kid was born. He did an image when he was sick and had diarrhea, and then he had that was what the image was about. It was like, Jesus, man. But that he really did it every day, no matter what. That didn't matter what the problem was. He would always do it. So I mean, there's a lot to say about that.
Yeah.
It's dedication. So Fabio, do you have any final thoughts, final questions?
Nothing. Usually the question that I like to ask before we say goodbye is, whoever is thinking to like get into one of these competitions, maybe, to improve their skills, or maybe to get a chance to get a little bit of exposure, and maybe, because of the imposter syndrome, or maybe because they don't feel too sure about themselves, is there any word of encouragement that you can share with the crowd, people watching from home, that can motivate them to take part? And I do understand that, like the other day I read a statement from Elon Musk that said, somebody asked, can you share some encouragement words for those who want to be entrepreneurs? And Elon Musk said, if you need words of encouragement, then you cannot be an entrepreneur. But I guess that, the art world needs to be a little bit more understanding. It's, I don't know. I like to think that we can help each other. Sorry. Anyway, can you feel like you can share any words of encouragement, or maybe, a thought that you think it's worth thinking about it in case you're thinking to approach a competition like this?
Ryan?
I mean, look, it's a fucking pandemic. I don't know what else everyone else is doing. There's nothing much to do. So, and by doing this, you're improving your career as well. So I don't see why everyone shouldn't join this, purely on the fact that most countries are still in lockdown now. So yeah, might as well do it. I mean, we're all free, right? So
just do it. That's
just do it.
Yeah.
Like what's the guy's name? Shia LaBeouf. Just
oh yeah.
do it.
This live stream is not sponsored by Nike in any way. Even though there's
there was a really good quote.
Even though there's a big pile of Nikes behind Fabio. Man, we should approach Nike, man. All right.
To answer your question again, there was a really good quote by Mike Golden. He said, quality comes with quantity. I thought that was very powerful, and that's so true. So yeah, listen to Mike.
Yeah. Mike's got a lot of good quotes. He's a smart guy.
If you have passion, I think this is the best way to work because you don't have a direct client, and I think it's really fun. I really enjoy to do these challenges, and if I don't do, it's because I can't.
It's because Javier keeps you awake at night.
I love him more than 3D.
I can understand that totally.
Yeah.
Guys, if you had the chance to do something different about your work, and you might say, well, I'm not stupid, I qualified, I won, I did the first and second place, I'm not gonna go back. But like looking at your image and the work that you've done in retrospective, seeing the work that other people did, would there be anything that you say, maybe I would have done that different and it would have been a little bit better, it would have made my image a little bit better?
My graffiti is kind of crap on the left. It's a bit too bright as well. I think if the wall is darker, just to focus more in the middle, that would have made it slightly stronger, I suppose.
Yeah.
I like that.
Probably I was trying to maybe with this lovely story of the documentary, I would made more a blue sky with a Brazilian sun. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
And other things, of course, but I think that is the point of this challenge is we end up the image, we close and go to the next one.
So I want to. So go ahead. Sorry, I'm just going to put up Niccolo's image because he couldn't be here, so that we can have a look at that as well. And I just want to make a comment about it too because it's really nice. There's such a painterly quality to the ground and to some of the textures on there, and I really wish I could ask him about that. But it's nice. It's very interesting.
It's an incredible image. Very well done, Niccolo.
Yeah.
If you're watching this, maybe later.
Yeah, but anyway, I just wanted to show it as well as the third place winner. And also, before we go, I would like to say thank you again to the sponsors that we had for the challenge, for providing prizes: CG Architects, Sinai Software. Mattepaint was actually they weren't a sponsor, but they were a partner. But they also offered some prizes, and Big, Medium, Small. Yeah, and I hope we will see those again in the next challenge, the next part 2, I guess.
So,
actually, on Monday we're launching the new challenge.
On Monday will be a video with Conrad. We're doing it with Conrad's going to join us, right?
Yeah.
So we'll announce the next part. Yeah, and thank you to everybody for watching. Thanks to you, Ryan and Nuno, for joining us today.
Thank you.
I'm trying to. Did I forget anything, Fabio?
I don't know, but hopefully we didn't. Yeah, thanks guys for being here. Thanks a lot everybody for talking to us, and yeah, we'll look forward to seeing what the next challenge is going to bring. And in case people who are tuning in are new here, know that every month we plan to have at least one event where we get the community involved, meaning that, if this is your first time, make sure that you subscribe so that you don't miss the next challenges. That's it. I hope that people learn something. It's always a pleasure to hang out with you, James, Ryan, Nuno. It was nice talking to you guys. Good evening, everybody, and we'll see each other next week.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So just hold on for a second, guys, and we'll say goodbye.
Don't go anywhere.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Good night. Good evening. Whatever it is, wherever you are.
Goodbye.